So here we are at the Buffalo River. We got a weekend without our kids, and so we're going to do a little bit more strenuous hikes, a little bit longer hikes. So right now we're doing the Eye of the Needle hike, which is a bit confusing to get to Indian Creek and get to Eye of the Needle, but hopefully this video will help people figure out how to navigate their way there. The way you get down here is you go to Kyle's Landing. If you are in a car of any kind, you probably don't want to try that road. You need an SUV or a truck. The road getting here is very, very rough. Once you get to Kyle's Landing, you're going to go all the way to the back and left of the campsite. You're going to see a couple bulletin boards. You're going to go right past those, and there's a lot of different intersections on the trail. So you will see a sign that says Indian Creek eventually. It's probably about, how far have we gone? Maybe a quarter of a mile?
Half.
Okay, about a half mile into the trail, you're going to see a sign that says Indian Creek, and that's what you follow.
And right when you get on this part of the BRT, there's several different intersections, so it makes it a little bit confusing. So you will cross Bear Creek, which was totally dry, just really gravelly. And then at the next intersection, this is the BRT going toward Irby or going up to Still Creek, and so you'll stay straight till Still Creek. And then the next intersection, the BRT is going to turn left and the Old River Trail goes straight, and so you'll stay on the Old River Trail at that intersection, and then the following intersection you turn left. Is that right?
I think so.
Okay, so that's the first part of it, but this getting to where we're going isn't really a regular trail, so it's going to take a lot of notes and intersections and paying attention to where we are today. We are right on the Buffalo River, and we've had some pretty intense flooding the last couple of weeks. So in the trees we can see the leaves, and you can tell how high the water's been. So within the last 2 weeks, the water was as high as the branches and sticks up on that tree above us, which is pretty impressive.
So here we are at the normally dry Indian Creek. As you can see, it is anything but. We don't really feel like having wet socks and wet shoes for the rest of the day, so luckily we brought our water shoes. So right here, you've been walking on this trail for a while, you're going to come to kind of a crossroads. You go up this way, then that's where Eye of the Needle is. If you go over here and follow up this waterfall trail for about 2/3 of a mile, maybe a whole mile, it's a steep climb. Don't do it if you are not very sure of your capabilities. But we passed maybe somewhere between 10 and 13,000 waterfalls. It was just amazing up there. You'll know when to stop. There's a cliff face, a big waterfall, and then a tiny cave, maybe about that big around.
There's no trail right here. We're just hiking up the stream, up the waterfalls, as far up as we can go. So we're just going to see, this isn't really part of the main trail, but we're going to see how high up we can go up here this way.
This is incredible. If you're at Indian Creek and it looks like you don't have anywhere else to go, turn left and climb up. Because of all the flooding lately, it's really flowing well. Check this out. So we've been bushwhacking all the way up this hill, trying to find kind of a loop to get back to Eye of the Needle. after we went up to see all the waterfalls. The bushwhacking is getting a little too thick, so I think we're gonna go back down, all the way down. I think it's like 800 feet. That's how far we climb according to our All Trails map. Go all the way back down to Indian Creek, then turn around and go to Eye of the Needle. This whole loop idea was not that great of an idea. Following Indian Creek Trail for a little while, there is a waterfall you can see off to your left, probably just wet weather. You can go up there about a mile, and it goes up and up and up and up, eventually ending at another probably 50-foot waterfall, a small cave with water coming out of it, and a pretty sheer rock face. It's well worth it. I haven't seen it noted in any books or anything, but now you know. So after a pretty strenuous hike, uphill, downhill, always next to Indian Creek, finally at this awesome waterfall. Arkansas Cave is over here. Eye of the Needle is up here. We're gonna go try Eye of the Needle and hopefully we don't die.
trail's up about 150 feet of rope. So now we're kind of in this like bluff overhang sort of area up kind of toward the top of the waterfall. So we're about to go hike across to see the Eye of the Needle. We just about made it.
So we just finished doing the Eye of the Needle hike, and it is treacherous.
I would say that for
Yeah,
sure.
if you are, don't bring kids, don't bring dogs,
No.
don't
Bring your parents.
If you are not confident in your abilities to hike and climb on rocks and climb up ropes and do some bouldering, don't do it. With that being said, here are our must-have items for this hike. Number one is you want 2 pairs of shoes. You want some water shoes and you want some other shoes, some good hiking shoes. Reason is because you are going to be crossing Indian Creek quite a few times. Your feet are going to get wet, and with how slippery the rocks already are, you want some dry shoes with a good tread whenever you start climbing up rocks. If you don't have those, you can get, slip and get seriously injured.
Yeah, and to add to that, I would say definitely wear wool socks, because that's going to pull a lot of this moisture away. And on our way out, when we would do like several creek crossings in a row and then we were back on the trail, we would sit down and dry our feet off and then put our dry shoes and socks back on and then hike for a while and then switch. And on the way back, we were getting a little lazy about that and just started walking through the river with our dry shoes on. And so both of us have a little bit of blistering from not stopping to switch shoes every time we did a creek crossing. So that definitely would make a big difference.
Number 2, lots of water or a water purifier. Do you have your water purifier?
It's in the back.
So what do you have there?
This is my new Life Straw water bottle. My Mother's Day gift, early. So we drink the river.
So, yeah, if you got a Smart Straw water bottle or something like that, bring that. It is not that long of a trail, but it feels like it because you're going up and down and rock climbing and doing all sorts of stuff. So bring plenty of water and some snacks so you don't get too calorie deficient.
Yeah.
Number 3, walking stick.
Oh, yeah.
At least 1, preferably 2, because some of the spots are ridiculously slippery, and so you're going to want to have 3 legs is better than 2.
Yeah.
And if you can have something to steady yourself while you're walking across a stream or up a boulder, do that. Number 4, tell somebody where you're going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There is no cell service probably for a good 30 minutes from where we're at. And it would be very easy to get injured here. More people get injured on this trail than anywhere else on the Buffalo.
Yeah, there were tons of people there and people of all different ability levels, but we did enough offshoots and side trails that we
what do we hike? 7.5, almost 8 miles.
Yeah.
And we were gone. So we got here a little before 10:30, and it's 6:30 now.
Yeah.
So we spent a huge amount of time, and we are in relatively good shape, and still definitely felt the exertion
Yeah.
of
And
that
so
trail.
if you were to get injured out toward Eye of the Needle, it would be hours and hours before someone can come help you. So 1, be careful. 2, hike with somebody else, or at the very least, let somebody know where you're going. So if you don't show up the next day, they know you probably fell off the rock.
And we met a guy. We saw lots of people. We met a nice guy. He was a retired custodian.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was surprisingly spry.
Yeah. Good way to put it.
He was carrying a dead bat in his pocket that he showed us.
Yeah. He was.
He was very friendly.
Yeah.